Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you guys are having a great Tuesday. We got three stories to talk about today. We got Franklin Templeton also joining the spot Bitcoin ETF race, so they applied for that. We'll take a look at it. We also have Hut 8 providing us two stories. One is the shareholder vote for the USBTC merger, and the other one is their production for August. So, as always, you guys know the drill here. This is not financial advice for entertainment only. Please do your own research. I'm investing in the following coins and companies for full disclosure. And if you enjoy this type of content, hit the like button, subscribe, helps me out tremendously. And let's get into it. We won't make this too long. It should be pretty straightforward. So Franklin Templeton joins SPY Bitcoin ETF race. The financial services heavyweight joins its brethren, BlackRock, Fidelity, and others in vying for SPY Bitcoin ETF. It's putting more pressure on, well, there he is, Gary Gensler right now, to actually possibly approve a SPY Bitcoin ETF. Franklin Templeton filed for a SPY Bitcoin exchange-traded fund Tuesday, becoming the latest traditional asset management firm to join the crowded race. In a filing with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, Franklin Templeton proposed a Coinbase custodied ETF that would trade on CBOE BZX exchange. It has not yet proposed a ticker for the product. And Franklin Templeton follows BlackRock and other financial heavyweights who have bet the SEC. That the SEC may soon allow, or perhaps even be forced by the courts to allow a SPY Bitcoin ETF to hit the public markets. Such a product would give everyday investors an easy means to gain exposure to the price of Bitcoin in their brokerage accounts alongside stocks and bonds, which obviously is what everybody here is trying to do. And the first one to get it is obviously going to be, it's going to be ahead of everybody else. So a lot of people are still thinking that a spot Bitcoin ETF, and when it's approved, it's probably going to be approved for all of these guys at once. So it's not going to be like one getting everything, all the money going into it right away. But we'll see what happens, okay? I think this is good news. This is just more people betting on basically Bitcoin spot ETF being approved. So it's good news, okay? Next is going to be Hut 8 provides voting results from special meeting. So shareholders overwhelmingly approved the merger of equals with US Bitcoin Corp. You guys can read over some of the stuff here, but the important part of it, the approval of the resolutions in respect to the transactions were voted as follows. So basically, they got 97.28% approval of the arrangement. They also got 95.84% approval for issuance of new HUT shares, and then approval on new HUT incentive plan, 87%. So a little bit less than the majority here, but still they got a pass. The completion of the transaction is subject to certain conditions, including the final order of the Supreme Court of British Columbia at an application which is scheduled for September 15th, so that's only a couple of days away. USBTC's registration statement becoming effective and other closing conditions customary in the transactions of this nature. If all necessary approvals are obtained and the conditions to the completion of the transactions are satisfied or waived, it is currently anticipated that the transaction will be completed by September 30th of this year. So within a couple, basically 2 weeks now, we're basically away from that. So that'll be interesting to see how that all stacks up, and then how they will actually report on all of their business business sections that they do have on this. There's gonna be a lot more data that we're gonna have to track on this, and we'll do our best to do it. But so it got passed. I think this is actually really good news for Hut 8. They've been struggling here the last year, trying to grow. Well, they haven't been really growing much at all or anything. They've been having problems one after another. And I think this kind of gets them out of that kind of jam that they're in right now, okay? That's it for that one. Let's take a look at the production update for August here. So Hut 8 production and operations update for August 2023. Here's what we have. 103 Bitcoin were generated, so that's less than they mined in July. No Bitcoins were sold during the month, so they obviously, hodled everything that they mined and probably had to dilute shares in order to do so. Total balance of Bitcoin in reserves was 9,255 on August 31st, 7,158 of which was unencumbered. So the other portion of that is encumbered on, basically, I think it was a loan. And then installed ASIC hash rate capacity at the Alberta facility was 2.6 exahash at the end of the month. So they're still basically at the same rate that they were before. We'll just take a look at it here right now. The numbers that I have for them: shares outstanding right now is 221,611,000 roughly. Stock price is at $2.14. Market cap is at 474 million right now. So based on the mergers of equal, we would assume that US Bitcoin Corp is valued at roughly right around the same value right now. Okay. Their performance over the last 12 weeks is spotty. 3% up from 12 weeks ago. They're down 43% from 8 weeks ago. They're down 20% from 4 weeks ago, and they're only up 4.41% from last week. And I think I have to update these numbers here. I don't think I've done that yet. I'll double check. I think this is actually from 2 weeks ago, but I'll double check on that. Current hash rate 2.6 exahash, future hash rate 7.5. This is including the USBTC merger with them. So that would definitely boost their production here in the, well, possibly in October. If they do merge in September, at the end of September, that would be October. Production updates would have hopefully a sizable increase in what they were actually mining then, okay? Month over month difference here as far as how much they've been mining. Bitcoin, you can see that they've been, over the last 3 months, they're down. And if you not include the transaction fees that happened in May, for a lot of these miners, they probably would have been down in that month as well. And then in April, they were up just slightly here. They're up just basically 1 BTC here. Bitcoin HODL, you can see here, has been going up at the end of last year. They HODLed pretty much everything that they could. They started selling a little bit here in the beginning of the year in February, March. They sold some in May, June, July. Excuse me. And then they obviously HODLed again in August. BTC per exahash efficiency, really low, 39.69. That's probably going to be one of the lowest, or pretty close to one of the lowest by my measures here. And now I'm looking at the whole month that they were mining, the installed hash rate, what they had, and actually how many days they were actually mining for. BTC sold, we covered that hash rate. And you can see that they've been pretty much stuck here at 2.6 ever since March. They did drive that up a little bit here from February to March a little bit. But other than that, it's been coming down. And let's see here, what else are here? Monthly BTC revenue. Revenue has also been coming down here. It's not the lowest that we've seen. The lowest was back in December of last year at 2.73 million. Currently, we're at 2.87 million roughly. And then the hash rate difference here, you can see here how much the hash rate has changed. Some of these, the 768 petahash was based on, not the drum, it was the drum medicine, was it Medicine Hat? I can't remember which facility it was, where they basically had a lawsuit filed against them by their, I think it was Validus that filed the lawsuit against them for whatever reasons it was. I can't remember now. But that's the reason why those machines over there were taken offline. And they've been looking for a home ever since. Okay, BTC sold value here, how much they've sold each month here, starting this year. And then the quarterly results, we talked about that when they reported their quarterly results, obviously, so we're not going to get into that. Their institutions and analyst ratings here, institutions did increase to 184 from 170, so that's good. Shares also increased to 34.9 million from 24.8 million, so that's a good increase there. Percentage-wise, it's up 15.78% from 11.19%, so that's good there. As far as analyst ratings, we still have 1 strong buy rating, 0 buy ratings, 2 hold ratings, 0 underperforms, 0 sells. And the price targets are still actually increased to $3.49 from $2.42, and the average went up to $2.48 from $1.74, and the low went up to $2.02 from $1.12. Okay, I have them all. We'll take a look at that here in a second here. But as far as what they mined during the month of August here, they definitely were down in production quite a bit here. It basically equates to them mining approximately 16.98 days out of the month. So not good there. Now, when we look at my estimates here, I have in between a P of 10 here, based on the last 3 quarters of revenue and the current quarter, which is estimated number. So 99 cents and $1.48, they're $2.14 right now. I think they're kind of overvalued. But because they are merging with USBTC, their production is going to go up. We'll have to see how that affects it going forward. That would get us to basically, and if we look forward to the next 12 months, which is going to be 7 months before the halving event, and then the 5 months afterwards, which are at 50% revenue, I have it between 79 cents and $1.18. Right? If they stayed just the way they are and they weren't merging with USBTC, I would say that they are overvalued right now. But they do have a huge HODL position, which obviously helps them out tremendously. Because that HODL position right now is valued at, what, 236 million, right? Their market cap is 474 million, so that's basically 200, and they're being valued 200 and, what is that, 240 some million on their operations, and their HODL is basically half of that right now, right? 49.83%. So that's where things are stacking up for them right now. The miners that they do have are also a little bit of a concern for me. They have some older miners that are in the 93 terahash. They got some 89, 87, 96, 77 terahash miners. I think those which probably should be switched out, well, probably, I would say, within the next year or two at the latest, get those things out of there. And the USBTC merger, I calculated those machines to be at approximately 100 terahash miners. So those are a little bit more efficient. Those should be okay, but the ones that Hut 8 has definitely need to be swapped out in the next year or two, if not sooner. Okay, so we'll obviously have to see what happens with them going forward, especially once they merge with USBTC, how they report on things. We'll update all of this stuff here as we get more information on that, and we'll see where do they come in at that point. Are they more fairly valued or undervalued or overvalued? Okay, but that's kind of what we're looking at. Now, let's take a look at what happened today with Bitcoin as well. And that's not what I'm looking for here. Looking for that. Over here. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so Bitcoin today was up nicely today. It was up approximately, well, pretty much gained back what it lost yesterday and then some. It definitely went above our 26,000 support line, or resistance line now, but it came back down below it. So we did go up to a high of 26,556. We closed at 25,840, below our 26,000 support line here, which is still acting as resistance on it. And if we look at the 4-hour chart here, let's take a look at what's going on there. We can see that the RSI definitely went way up higher. Look at the price here where it is right now. Last time price was around this range, was right around here. RSI at that point was lower. RSI is higher at this point. I'm still thinking we're probably going to, I don't know. It's a tough call to say right now as far as which we're going. I think we might be going down still a little bit in price. If we look at it also here, we can see that the RSI is actually on the price where it's at. And let's take a look at the bottoms here, maybe trying to figure this out a little bit. We can see here the price back here. Look at price over here was actually about the same. So not much really changed here as far as that. If we look at the peaks, we did have some peaks here that were higher in price than they were before in the RSI, on the 1-hour chart at least. So it's a lot of indecisiveness right now as far as which way it wants to really go. But we'll see. If we get support around here and keep that support, we might be getting close to where it might bottom out. If we look at the daily chart here, we can see that our previous low here that we had back in June the 15th, this was right around the same area that we are right now. So this might be acting as our support line. The 25,000 mark is kind of acting like, well, might be acting as support. So as long as we don't go below that, we might be okay. But if it goes below that a couple more times, we might be falling even further. Okay, so something to be mindful of. As far as the miners did a lot better today than they did yesterday. They gained back some of those losses that they had. BitDigital was up nicely, 8.65%. Bitfarms was up okay, 4.55%. Who else was up nicely today? Greenwich obviously bounced on the day as well. Iris Energy, 5.26%. Mawson's, 7.95%. Mawson's been beaten down quite a bit, so I was kind of expected to have a little bit of a bounce here. And then we got Stronghold also getting beaten down. They're up a little bit as well, 11.78% on the day. So overall, good day for the miners. Now we just need that to continue going forward. Okay, so that's it. Let me know what you guys thought of all this. As always, the spreadsheets are going to be available to my Patreon members. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. If you guys just enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe. Helps me out tremendously, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. All right, until then, bye.